What is good, everybody, and welcome back to another NBA 2K Lab video. It is Spill here, and if you clicked on this video without reading the title, I'm going to be giving you guys my 6'9 lockdown build with Hall of Fame anchor that can defend any position on the court. For those that know, consider this a prime Andre Kirilenko build that can defend at an elite level and still be able to stretch the floor and knock down shots. Now, shout out to Laker fan because we labbed this build together for his Pro-Am team, and a good amount of clips that you'll be seeing are from our Hall of Fame League matchups against some pretty good competition. But even if you don't play Pro-Am, this build is even better in the rec and also makes for a great solo build. It's a 5x5 machine, meaning you're going to get points, assists, blocks, steals, and rebounds, and I've even played center in the rec and ended up with some triple doubles here and there, so you're going to be getting a lot of rep in the rec with this build. Now, the focus here was obviously defense since it's a lockdown slash anchor build, but make no mistake that you're still going to be able to get buckets. You're not going to be handling the ball with this build much, but the shooting and finishing is more than enough to be effective, and if you know how to use the meter for dunking, it can make this build an absolute beast when attacking the basket. Now, after I give you guys the build, I'll go through my badge loadout and even some animations as well, so you can see what I've been using in all of these clips. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get right into this build. For position, we're going with a power forward, and handedness and number doesn't really matter, that's all up to you, but for the body settings, we're going with 6'9 for the height, 218 pounds with a max wingspan of 7'7", and I personally always choose compact for my body style. You can pick whatever you want. Now, starting with my finishing, my main goal was to get enough finishing badges to be able to equip my tier 3s without using any of my extra badge points. For close shot, we went with a 76, which gives us a badge point, but at 75 we unlock silver fast twitch, which we tested, and it showed about a 10% speed increase when taking close shots and standing dunks, and that's going to be pretty beneficial down the road. Now, at 75 we also unlock silver fearless finisher, so this 76 rating makes for a great threshold. Now, you're not going to be mashing like that with this build, but with good timing you can get off some of those close shots at a pretty good rate. Now, for layup, we're going with a 74 for the badge point, and then an 87 driving dunk, which gives us another badge point, but at 86 we get pro contact dunks and gold limitless takeoff, which is a very important badge. Now, you also unlock Zion Williamson alley-oop package at 87 if you cared about that, and then lastly we went with a 61 standing dunk, which should be more than enough for what we're trying to accomplish. Now, in total we have 16 finishing badges, allowing us to equip silver posterizer without adding any extra badge points, and then once you core posterizer you can also run silver fast twitch, making the inside finishing on this build much more viable. As we move on to shooting, even though this build has a max wingspan of 7'7", it's still able to unlock silver deadeye and gold green machine with an 82 3-point rating. Gold green machine is an important badge in 2K23 because in order to make a shot it has to be green, so why not have a badge on that boosts your shooting when you green your shots? We tested it and the boost starts to kick in slightly after your first green release, but after 2 consecutive green releases your third shot will have a 100% chance to green if timed correctly. Now, if you're a consistent shooter, this is a great badge to have equipped. Then for mid-range we increased it to a 71 to give us 17 total badge points, so we can equip gold catch and shoot in tier 3 without using any extra badge points. You'll see why I'm saving all my extra badge points at the end of the build. And then for our free throw we went with a 69 because that's what we had left after I finished making the build, and really anything from 60 to 70 is pretty makeable, but I prefer 70 to 75 so I can worry less about the RNG of the free throw shooting. For playmaking, we're keeping it pretty basic as we go with a 76 pass accuracy to unlock gold break starter, which will be an important badge for this build. At 75 pass accuracy you also unlock LeBron pass style, which is a solid choice, but you could also use no pass style, which works pretty good as well. The ball handle increased with the pass accuracy, and we're leaving these other attributes alone because this build is not focused on playmaking. Now, for the bread and butter of this build, the most versatile lockdown in NBA 2K23, the number one thing I wanted for this build was Hall of Fame anchor, so before we do anything we're increasing the block rating to 99. Now, when we tested anchor versus standing layups, the Hall of Fame level saw an insanely low make percentage, whereas the gold, silver, and even bronze levels were somewhat close to each other. Now, increasing our block brings up our interior to a 79, and for my build that's where I'm going to leave it at. You do unlock silver post lockdown at an 80 interior defense, which can be a good option for some, but for me I'm going to rely on Hall of Fame anchor and positioning to get me some stops. Now, since this build can play defense against any position, we're going to max our perimeter defense to an 88, which also gives us a badge point, and then max the steal rating to 90 for that gold interceptor, which pairs perfect with our max wingspan. Not to mention we also get silver glove in tier 1, which is an insane value. Now, for the rebounding, we went with a 94 defensive rebound to get Hall of Fame box out beast, and you also unlock gold rebound chaser at 93 as well. And then we increased our offensive rebound to a 76 to give us 30 total badge points. Now, just looking at the defensive attributes, it's hard not to see why this is the most versatile lockdown build in NBA 2K23. When it comes to physicals, I'm going to max the speed to an 81 for the best possible speed, and then for acceleration I went with a 75, which is going to come in handy when I'm looking to drive and attack the basket. I upgraded my strength to 70, which is going to help me out down low a little bit, and on box outs it's not a lot, but it is helpful. But what's even more helpful is the 85 vertical on this build. Pairing a 99 block block with the high vert like 85 or higher makes such a huge difference when blocking shots and going for rebounds, and I highly recommend people start increasing their vertical for better results. And then lastly, for our stamina, we have a 91, which is going to be plenty since this is an off-ball build. And there it is, we have the best versatile lockdown build in NBA 2K23. This build offers a unique selection of takeovers with sharp, lock, rim, and glass takeovers, so depending on your team makeup or how you want to play, you can switch it up to fit any playstyle. When I'm in the rec with friends, I usually go extreme clamps and then limitless range as my secondary, or if I'm trying to be more of a big, I'll maybe use paint intimidation and box out wall, so it really all depends on what's going on. The build name is pretty basic as a two-way inside-out scorer, but you get shades of an athletic Hawks Josh Smith, the NBA's block leader in Jaren Jackson Jr., and then a former defensive player of the year and four-time champion in Draymond Green, so pretty good comparisons overall considering what we were trying to make. But now let's take a look at our badge loadout. So this is my actual badge loadout I'm using on this build, and for finishing, I don't ever change these, but the three most important badges you'll want here is the gold limitless takeoff, silver posterizer, and then silver slithery, which comes out to 13 total badge points. From there, I can only afford fearless finisher on bronze, even though we get it to silver, but it's not a huge deal since this build is going to be dunking more often than not. As you can see, I have aerial wizard cord for now, but eventually once I core my posterizer, I can opt to use silver fast twitch and equip both of my tier 3 badges, or I can forgo the fast twitch and put on aerial wizard on silver, maybe bump up fearless finisher to silver as well, and then possibly throw on acrobat or something. But despite only having 16 finishing badge points, you still have some decent flexibility here. For shooting, I'm keeping it pretty simple as I'm using the best off-ball shooting badges in gold claymore and silver catch and shoot. I'm not saying silver catch and shoot is the best, and I would like to get it on gold, but the reason I don't mind using silver is because when we tested this badge, the silver level has the same exact middle make percentage as the gold level, making silver a pretty good value. Then we have gold green machine, which I explained earlier, and then also bronze agent 3, which is more of a playstyle badge for me since I like to shoot fades, so if you wanted to put those 3 points somewhere else, that's also an option. I'm running double defensive core badge loadout, as you can see, so I don't have the extra badge points from the shooting core, but nonetheless, I'm satisfied with the badges I have. My loadout for playmaking starts with gold break starter, of course, which is a must since we have the 94 defensive rebound. Then I have bronze dimer to help my teammates. I do have hyperdrive on bronze as well, but I also wouldn't mind replacing this with something like special delivery on bronze or just bumping dimer up to silver. Then for my tier 2 badges, I have bronze bailout, which is a must for me. When I draw the defense off a quick fade, sometimes that bailout pass to the corner is wide open, so I like having that option, and I like having this badge on at all times. And then lastly, we have silver needle threader cord, which is allowing me, of course, all these extra playmaking badges, which brings us to our defense. And this is where I added all of my 6 extra badge points, and I think that's probably the best route when it comes to this build. Now for my tier 1 badges, I have box out beast on Hall of Fame to help me and my team rebound, and this is an important badge to help secure rebounds, especially being a shorter big at 6'9". Then as I mentioned, we have silver glove in tier 1 for the plucks and blitzes, and then silver workhorse to help track down and secure those loose balls. When it comes to the tier 2 badges, all my badges in this section are max, so we have gold challenger, which is crucial when it comes to perimeter contest. The gold level can reduce the middle make percentage of a shooter by 20% when compared to no badge. Bronze also works really well, but you can notice a significant boost once you get to gold. Then we have chase down artist on Hall of Fame to pair with our 99 block, silver clamps, and then gold interceptor for the easy lane steals. See, that's the great thing about 6'9s is that the badge tiering on defense and just in general works out really well, which is allowing us to get all the badges that we want. Which brings us to our tier 3 badges, and of course we have Hall of Fame anchor cord on this build, Hall of Fame pogo stick, and then gold rebound chaser cord as well, giving us a total of 51 defensive badge points currently equipped. This loadout may change depending on my role, the matchups, or my team makeup, but for the most part, these are the badges that I'm using. Now I wanted to quickly show the dunk animations I'm using, and I don't use too many packages, but some good ones I like to use are the quick drops off 1, of course, the straight arm tomahawks, clutch baseline reverses off 2 is one of my favorites, and then the LeBron James signature dunk package, which gives us some good limitless takeoff dunks. Don't forget to equip the pro contact dunks off 1 and 2, all the alley-oops, and then the standing dunks as well, and you should be good to go. And you may or may not have seen me dribbling a little bit in these clips on this build, and I don't quite recommend it, but if you do, make sure to equip the Gabby Williams dribble style for the quickest initial boost. Now that is all we have for the ultimate 6'9 lockdown build. If you enjoy playing defense like I do, this build is a ton of fun, and I highly recommend it for anyone wanting to make a versatile lockdown build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and if you did, a single like goes a long way and is much appreciated. It's been Spill. Thanks for watching. I'm out. Later.